So tomorrow night, we start the festival of Passover, Pesach. It is a festival of freedom. It is a festival when we ended 430 years of exile, 100 and I believe it was somewhere in the neighborhood of 18 years of slavery, of back-breaking labor, forced labor, and we became our own people. We became a righteous people. We made a covenant with God. We adopted the 10 Commandments and the other 603, and we made a covenant, and we decided that we were going to be God's people, and we're going to be an example, light among nations. So we've been through a lot of hard times, through ourselves and with other people. But when you look at the experiences of our people of the last 3,000 years, we've been through good times, but we've certainly been through a lot of bad times. We have been attacked. We lost half our people when the 10 tribes of Israel seceded from the union of the tribes, and they were conquered. They evolved into paganry, and because of that, they were conquered, and they were dispersed, and they were lost. We went through some heavy charges, accusations, trying to think how to put this the best way, that we created havoc that started another religion. Let's just do it that way, trying to use a euphemism here. But we were the victims of crusades, we were the victims of pogroms, we were the victims of inquisitions. We were told we can't honor our full moon, our new month rather, which meant we didn't have a religion, because that's what it's based on. States tried to prevent us from studying Torah. They accused us of spreading diseases, and yet we still persisted. Today we have freedom. Today we have our nation back. God promised us, I will give you the land in Canaan. I will give you that land. The land of the Canaanites, the Jebusites, the Hivites, the Hittites, the Girgashites. I will give you that land. And when you settle that land, there will be special conditions that you will do, like the Shemitah year, every 7 years the land goes fallow, right? The land gets a rest. And that way it'll be a holy land. So that brings us to today. So I don't preach very much, but today I'm going to preach. After World War II, for about 20, 25, maybe 30 years, Judaism experienced a rise. Judaism experienced, well, maybe not a golden age, but a very good age. We expanded. Conservative Judaism flourished. People saw it as a good middle ground. I can still be traditional, I can honor Shabbat, I can be kosher, but I'm not tied down to very strict dogma. It was a nice middle ground. We had flourishing of the Orthodox movement, very strict. People flourished in the cities. We had the Reform movement start to grow. And many synagogues got developed. The synagogue I grew up in started out as a little storefront. And by the time I got there, when I was bar mitzvahed about, maybe 7 years later, there was a bar mitzvah or a bat mitzvah every single weekend of the year. The year after that, there was 2 b'nai mitzvah every year. There was that many people. And if you look at that area, it expanded. And more synagogues grew. What's going on today? Now remember, this was in the 60s. The Holocaust was a very fresh memory. So what's going on today? When we have it easy, do we get lazy? Do we get content? Do we decide, maybe synagogue life isn't for us? Who wants to go sit in services? We've got a lot of services coming up. We talked about not having a service tonight. We thought everybody might be home cooking for their Seder, especially since we have a service tomorrow morning, Shabbat. You're going to be doing your own, or maybe you have something else planned for the first Seder. We have services Sunday morning, that's the first Passover service. We have the second Seder Sunday night. Then we have another service Monday. Some Orthodox shuls are going to have a service every morning for Passover. And then next week, we have Friday night, which is Passover Shabbat. Saturday morning, which is Passover Shabbat, it's Passover 7. And then Sunday morning, we also have the service. That's 5 services. When I was a kid, I went to it. We all did. You just did it. And today, we don't get a lot of people in the services. Now, granted, people work and they have to take off work sometimes. And if you really took off that work and you're not self-employed, it can be a real burden. You can just blow your sick days. So we get it. But what's the matter with Saturday? What's the matter with Friday night? People aren't coming. Synagogues are going out of business. Why is that? God is still there. The religion's still there. So what are we doing? We are the guardians. We are the gatekeepers, you people. But where's everybody else? Do you know that according to population estimates, the population of Jews in the world is back where it was before the Holocaust? Now let's think about that. Judaism enjoyed a flourishing after World War II when synagogues were built. And the Holocaust decimated our numbers. We lost 6 million people, granted, in Europe. Okay? But people came over here and they persisted in their observance, in their practice of Judaism. Still fresh in their mind. You would think maybe it'd be the opposite. You would maybe think that, wow, I don't want to be Jewish. Look what happened to my ancestors, my relatives. And you might think now, well, that things have kind of lightened up. Of course, that's ignoring the last couple of years. That things would be flourishing. I feel safe. I can go to synagogue. So maybe a lot of the things that are happening in the world against us, things that are going on in this country, is because we have not been a strong people. We've not been strong enough. I don't know. But the point is, what's happened to that interest in Judaism? I know in this synagogue, we've seen a lot of interest. People coming in. What is Judaism all about? They're finding things in Judaism. They're finding answers to their spiritual questions. So maybe that's part of the answer. I've talked to people about that. What do you do to build Judaism? Well, maybe we're just focusing too much on the actual rituals, and rather than what they mean. Maybe we need to spend more time explaining things. I don't know, making that connection. Maybe we need to stop fighting with ourselves and start respecting each other more. I don't know what it is. But we do what we can. So I'm going to leave you with this message. We need to keep this going. The people, our ancestors that gave their lives in the Crusades, in the Inquisitions, in the pogroms, that were scapegoats for the diseases that befell Europe and the Middle East. They died for us. People in the Holocaust, they died because they were Jewish. For us to not practice our religion after that is a real affront to them. They were martyrs. It's part of our liturgy in Yom Kippur, a martyrdom. They died for their religion. People in the Inquisition, they died because they refused to give up their religion. We, if not for ourselves, we owe it to them to continue Judaism, to continue practicing, to come to synagogue, to support our synagogues as best as we can, to be present, and to observe the religions that have kept us strong as a people, that have kept us moral and ethical throughout the ages. We need to think about that. We have the freedom now. We're not under the watch of the monarchy that doesn't want us to observe our holidays, our festivals, or our Torah. We don't have that threat anymore, at least not here and not in Israel, which is where most of our people are. So we can observe freely, and we don't have to worry about retribution or even, heaven forbid, death. So we can do it, and we should do it, and we should do it. So let's make a commitment this year, and it's a new year. Nisan is a new year. It's the new secular year. That's what God said. This will be a new year for you. We observe it in the 7th month, but this is the new year. So let's make that commitment to be observant Jews and to do the best we can within our means. And give into Judaism, and you find that the more you give, the more you will get out.